Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're tackling a topic that's probably on a lot of people's minds, passive income.
Hmm.
You've shared some really interesting material, a video script actually, about passive income ideas that actually work.
Right.
So our mission here is to kind of pull out the key ideas, the actionable stuff from that script,
Yep.
basically help everyone understand how you could potentially start earning money with, minimal ongoing effort.
Exactly. And the material, it takes a pretty engaging, accessible approach, I think.
Yeah.
It explores different ways to earn passively, but doesn't just list them out. It gives practical tips on, like, how to begin and even mentions the real challenges you might hit.
Good.
And that's the spirit we want to capture today.
Okay, perfect. So let's kick things off by really nailing down what we mean by passive income, why people want it so much.
Sure.
Then we'll dive into 5 specific ideas from your source material.
The 5 core ones, yeah.
And after that, we'll touch on how to actually get started and some of those hurdles to watch out for. Okay, let's unpack this. Fundamentally, what is passive income?
Well, at its core, passive income is about earning money from something you set up, maybe an asset you created, that keeps bringing in revenue with very little active day-to-day work after the initial setup.
After the setup, right.
The script you shared had a good example. Creating an online course. You do the work once to build it, and then you can earn from it again and again as people sign up, maybe even while you're doing something else entirely.
Right, that work once, get paid repeatedly idea. That's the dream, isn't it?
It really is appealing.
It's like building a little money machine that just keeps going. The script compared it to planting a tree, which I liked.
Oh, yeah.
You put in the work early on, planting and watering, and then later you get the shade, the fruit, for years.
That's a great analogy, and it highlights something important.
Yeah.
It's not really about not working. It's more about front-loading that effort. You invest your time, maybe your skills, up front to build something
Okay.
that can potentially generate income long-term with much less ongoing effort.
Yeah.
And that frees up your time, your energy. That's a huge part of why people chase it.
Absolutely. So let's get specific. Your source material outlined 5 distinct ideas that it framed as actually workable.
Yes, 5 practical ones.
Which I appreciate, not the usual get-rich-quick stuff. First up was real estate investing. Now, that sounds complex and maybe expensive for a lot of people.
It definitely can sound that way. Traditionally, you think of buying properties, finding tenants, fixing leaky pipes.
Yeah, the hassle factor.
Exactly. But the script highlights something much more accessible for many. REITs.
REITs, okay.
Real estate investment trusts.
Right. For anyone not familiar, maybe give us the quick version of how they work.
Sure. So think of a REIT as a company, basically.
Yeah.
It owns and usually operates real estate that produces income, like shopping malls, office buildings, apartments. When you invest in a REIT, you're buying shares in that company.
Like buying stock.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And the key part for passive income is that REITs legally have to pay out a big chunk of their profits as dividends to shareholders.
Ah, so that's the income stream.
That's the income stream. You get exposure to real estate returns without having to be a landlord. No frantic calls about burst pipes like the script joked.
Yeah.
But it's important to remember, your returns are still tied to the property market and how well the REIT is managed.
Right. You still need to do your homework.
Definitely. Research the REIT, its holdings, its track record, just like you would with any stock.
That makes sense. It lowers the barrier significantly for real estate.
Okay.
What's number 2?
Second is affiliate marketing. This one's huge in the digital age. It's basically promoting other companies' products or services. You might do this on a blog, a YouTube channel, maybe social media if you have a following.
Okay.
Companies give you special links through what they call affiliate programs. If someone clicks your link and buys something,
You get a cut.
you get a commission. Exactly. These platforms track everything to make sure you get paid.
And the passive part comes in how?
Well, the idea is you create the content with the link once, say, a blog post reviewing a product or a video showing how it works.
Right.
That content can stay online, keep attracting views or readers, and potentially generate sales over time, long after you published it.
Without you actively pushing it every day.
Correct. And the script pointed out a big plus. You don't have to create your own product.
True, that saves a lot of work.
Yeah, it's framed as just sharing things you like and getting paid for the referral.
Makes sense. Leveraging your content or your audience.
Okay, what's the third stream?
Third is creating digital products. This is where you can turn your own skills or knowledge into, an income source.
Like what specifically?
The script mentioned things like ebooks, printable planners or templates, online courses teaching something you know,
Okay.
or even selling things like stock photos or music tracks people can buy and use. Ah, interesting. But it's not just making the thing, right? How do people find it?
That's a crucial point. You definitely need to think about your audience, what they need, and how to market it effectively. That's part of the initial effort.
So the main work is upfront in creating and refining that digital product.
Exactly. You put in the time, the effort to make it good. But the big win, the passive potential, comes because once it's made and available,
Yeah.
it can be sold over and over again to lots of different customers with very little extra work from you for each sale.
Right.
The script had that cookie analogy, bake the cookies once, get paid every time someone buys one.
I like that. It really shows the scalability.
It really does. It fits that work once, get paid repeatedly idea perfectly.
Okay, great. Moving on to number 4, investing in stocks and dividends. Now, the stock market, that can feel a bit scary or complicated for some people.
Totally understandable. It feels risky. But the focus here isn't just general stock investing. It's specifically on dividend-paying stocks.
Okay, what's the distinction?
These are typically shares in established, profitable companies that give a portion of their earnings back to shareholders regularly. That payment is the dividend.
Right.
You often hear people talk about dividend yield.
Yeah.
That's basically the annual dividend payment compared to the stock price. It's a key thing to look at, along with the company's financial health, obviously, and whether it has a history of paying out consistently.
So the goal isn't necessarily just the stock price going way up.
Well, that's always nice if it happens.
Sure.
But the passive income part really comes from those regular dividend checks or deposits.
Okay.
And the script made a good point. You don't have to be some Wall Street genius to do this.
No.
The key is research, or maybe working with an advisor, to find solid companies that have a track record of paying dividends,
Yeah.
ideally even increasing them over time.
Gotcha.
That can build up into a pretty steady income stream without needing you to, like, trade stocks every day.
Yeah, that sounds much more manageable for the average person wanting to grow wealth.
Okay? And the fifth idea, it's creating a YouTube channel or a podcast. Hey, like us.
Ah, exactly. Meta.
But there's so much content out there. How do you actually break through and build an audience big enough to make money?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It definitely takes serious, consistent effort up front to build that audience and make stuff people actually want to watch or listen to.
Right.
But once you get to a certain level, enough views, enough listeners, you've got options for monetization.
Like what?
The script mentioned ads, obviously. You get paid based on views or clicks on ads shown with your content.
Okay.
Sponsorships companies paying you directly to talk about their product.
Right.
And affiliate links, which we already discussed, you can weave those into your descriptions or videos, too.
Makes sense.
The script even joked that, hey, maybe this podcast could be passive income someday.
Huh. Maybe.
But it really stressed that consistency and providing real value are absolutely key to growing that audience in the first place. Okay, so that's the 5. REITs, affiliate marketing, digital products, dividend stocks, and content creation like YouTube or podcasts. A pretty diverse list.
Yeah.
Now, for someone listening, maybe feeling inspired, maybe a bit overwhelmed, thinking, okay, where do I even start? What advice did the source material give?
The big one was focus. Really strong emphasis on that.
Focus.
Pick one idea, just one that genuinely interests you, and pour your energy into that first.
Don't try to do everything at once.
Exactly. The script warns against juggling too many things right away because you'll likely just burn out.
Yeah, I can see that.
The advice is start small, really learn the ropes of one income stream, get some traction, and then maybe think about adding another one or scaling up.
Okay, so someone's thinking about digital products. A concrete first step might be what?
Maybe just brainstorming. Like this week, sit down and list out skills or knowledge you have that other people might actually pay to learn about.
Simple enough. Focus first. What comes next?
Consistency. Absolutely critical, especially for anything content-based like a blog or YouTube.
Right.
The script said, no ghosting your audience, which I thought was pretty good.
Ah, yeah.
You need to show up regularly, stick to a schedule if you can, keep engaging. That builds trust and keeps people interested.
Show up, provide value, be reliable.
Got it.
Anything else key for making this sustainable?
Automation. This is where it starts feeling more passive over time.
How so?
The script suggests Setting up systems to automate tasks where you can. Like for affiliate marketing, maybe automated email sequences that send out info or offers.
Okay.
For YouTube or podcasts, scheduling uploads in advance.
Right, batching your work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The more you can automate the routine stuff, the less time you have to spend on ongoing maintenance to keep the income flowing.
Automation sounds key for scaling and actually freeing up your time. Now, let's be real. Building this stuff isn't always easy. Did the script talk about challenges?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Patience was a big one. It explicitly said, building passive income is a marathon, not a sprint. It takes time.
No overnight riches.
Absolutely not. You need to manage expectations. Some of these things, like building a big YouTube audience or getting a blog ranked high in Google, that can take months, maybe even years of steady work before you see significant money.
Wow, yeah.
Consistency over the long haul is what pays off.
Planting seeds and watering them, like that tree analogy again. What other common problems did it mention?
Getting distracted. The shiny object syndrome?
Yes.
There are so many passive income ideas floating around online, right?
Yeah.
It's super easy to hear about something new and think, ooh, maybe that's the easier way.
Yeah, happens all the time.
But constantly switching your focus just means you never make real progress on anything.
Good point.
The advice was, stick with your first choice, really give it a fair shot, see if it has potential before jumping ship.
How do you stay focused, though?
Maybe setting clear goals for the thing you picked and checking in on your progress regularly. That could help you resist chasing every new fad.
Focus and patience. Sounds like the secret sauce, maybe.
Seems like it.
Okay, so just to recap our deep dive here, we looked at what passive income is, why it's appealing. Then we dug into those 5 specific strategies from the source. REITs for real estate, affiliate marketing, creating digital products, dividend stocks, and building a platform like YouTube or a podcast.
And for getting started, the key takeaways were, pick one thing that excites you, focus your energy there, be consistent, and automate what you can later on.
Right.
Plus, remembering to be patient and avoid those shiny object distractions.
Exactly. So for everyone listening, maybe take a moment now or later. Think about those 5 ideas. Which one genuinely sparks something for you? Which one aligns with your skills, your interests, maybe the time you realistically have for that initial push?
Yeah, which one feels like the best fit for you?
And that leads to maybe a final thought to chew on.
Okay.
We talked about this idea of front-loading effort for passive income, putting in the work now for easier rewards later. Where else in life could that apply?
Interesting question.
Could that model work for, say, learning a new skill or personal development, maybe even building stronger relationships?
Putting in focused effort up front for long-term sustained benefits.
Yeah. Could that model apply elsewhere? Something to think about.